Hey, what's up, fishes and fishettes? This is Eric over at Fish Poker. Today is St. Patrick's Day, which I'm not 100% sure what that means other than we need to wear green, which I am, rocking my tri-antler hat, and go get some green drinks. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna go grab some green drinks and go grab a bite to eat. Then we're gonna go on our way to Garden Grove, California, where we're gonna go celebrate my friend's birthday. It was her birthday yesterday, but we're celebrating it today with an 8-person tournament. It's a $40 buy-in with 13,000 starting stack and 2,000 chips for an on-time bonus. There's not gonna be a bounty this time, and the levels are gonna be 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and do the right folds. Let's do the right calls. Let's have fun. But most importantly, let's stay green. So happy St. Patrick's Day, guys, and I'll see you out on the tables. So about 10 minutes into the game, blinds are 25-50, and I look down at 7-8 offsuit. I'm somewhere in the middle position, and I raise it up to 200. Small blind goes ahead and calls. Big blind goes ahead and calls, and so does the under the gun plus 2 calls. And we are 4 ways to a flop. The flop comes, and it's 10-8-7. We are feeling good. We flop bottom 2. Great board for us. When the small blind goes ahead and donk bets out to 1,000, big blind goes ahead and makes the call. Our under the gun plus 2 player folds, and it goes back around to me. And I'm not about to slow play my 2 pair, so I put in a raise to 6,000. Our opponent in the small blind goes ahead and makes the call. Our opponent in the big blind makes the call, and we are off to a turn. The turn card is an ace of hearts. Our opponent in the small blind goes ahead and checks. Big blind now goes ahead and reaches for chips and puts in a bet of 3,000. She bets 3,000 into 18,000. I feel that's a little fishy. I feel she's weak because of that. So I go ahead and re-raise her. I put in a raise of 8,000, which makes our small blind fold. And our big blind starts to think about it for a few seconds before she actually makes the call. The river comes, and it's a queen of diamonds. That, for some reason, scares off our opponent because she checks, and that scares me as well because I check back. I flip over my hand, feeling pretty comfortable, feeling pretty confident, but we are no good. She goes ahead and she flops top 2 pair, beating our flopped bottom 2 pair, and she scoops up a really good pot, and we are now on live support. The very next hand, I'm somewhere in middle position, and I get dealt ace jack offsuit. I go ahead and put in a raise to 600, and it folds around to the button, and the button makes the call. The small blind makes the call, big blind makes the call, and the under the gun player goes ahead and makes the call as well, and we are 5 ways to a flop. The flop comes, and it's king ace 5. There's 2 spades on board. Small blind goes ahead and checks. The big blind goes ahead and checks, and the under the gun goes ahead and checks. I go ahead and put in a continuation bet. I put out 1,500 out there, which the button gladly calls. He never folds. I don't even think he folds his own laundry. But now we go ahead and go heads up to a turn. The turn comes, and I feel it's a pretty safe card. It's a 9 of diamonds. I go ahead and continue with my story. I put out a bet of 2,500. Our opponent in the button goes ahead and reaches for chips and goes ahead and snap calls us, and we're off to see a river. The river is another 5, which sucks for us because our kicker no longer plays. We turn over our cards, and he shows a busted straight. My ace is good. I go ahead and pick up a nice little pot, and I am now out of life support and in stable condition. A few rotations after that, I'm on the big blind, and I look down at 8-9 offsuit. The cutoff makes it 700, it folds around to me, and I make the call. Under the gun folds, and we are heads up to a flop. The flop comes, and it's 6-5 jack, giving us a gutter. We check it back to the original raiser, who fires off 1,000. I call, hoping for a miracle, when all of a sudden, bam, we get it on the turn. We check it back. He fires off 2,000, and I go ahead and go into the tank for a few minutes. I'm Hollywooding. I deserve an Oscar when I go ahead and reach for chips and I re-raise him. I re-raise him to 4,000. He goes ahead and snap, shoves on me, and I go ahead and snap call. And he has a pair of jacks, and he's running dead to a river, which is an offsuit ace. And we scoop up a massive pot. This pot is over 27,000. We are out of life support. We are out of stable condition, and we are feeling great. A few orbits later, I'm on the big blind, and I look down at 5-3 offsuit. 3 players go ahead and limp in. It gets to the button. He looks at his hand and decides it's a good enough hand to put in a raise, and he raises it to 1,200. Even though my 5-3 is not the greatest, I'm not about to fold to a min raise. So I reach for chips and I go ahead and make the call. And everyone else who limped behind me also makes the call. And we are 5 ways to a flop. The flop comes and it's ace, 7, 5, rainbow. We hit bottom pair, but we are out of position against 4 other players. So we decide to check, and everyone else checks, including the original raiser. We go ahead and get a free card, which is a 10. And since nobody seemed too interested in this hand, in this pot, I go ahead and fire off 1,000. Our opponent to our left, which is under the gun, goes ahead and re-raises us to 3,000. It folds back around to me, and I'm not about to fold 2,000 chips to win 8,000. So I feel it's an easy call, so I gladly do it. We see a river, and it's a 3. We go ahead and check it to the person who raised us, hoping he fires another bullet, but he doesn't. He checks it back, we turn over our hands, I show him my 2 pair, and they're good. At this point, I am 100% sure we're winning this tournament. So we just lost the tournament. We lost it in a really bad way. We had pocket jacks. We open up, we get 1 caller. The board comes queen, ace, ace. Bad board for us. We go ahead and check. Our opponent checks back. On the turn comes a brick. I check back again. Our opponent checks back. And on the river, there's a jack. Great card for us. We get a full house, jacks over aces. We're feeling confident. We go ahead and shove and get snap called by ace jack. So our opponent goes ahead and takes that massive pot. We get coolered. She gets a 1-outer, but it doesn't matter because we were drawing dead anyway. A few hands after that, I was left with about 20,000 chips, which might not seem like a lot because it's not a lot. The blinds were 2,000, 4,000, and I'm dealt under the gun pocket 10s. I go ahead and shove, and king jack calls me. On the flop comes something, something, king. And something, something. That's all she wrote. We lost the tournament, but it's okay. The birthday girl went ahead and chopped it with my other buddy. They both took around 160 bucks each. Congratulations to them. They both played right. They both played well, and that's all she wrote. So you guys stick around for the next one, and don't forget to stay green. Bye.